3, 2, 1, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I read to you headlines from my news feed and share with you my thoughts and ideas and perspective on some of those headlines, based on having read the headline or maybe having read or skimmed the article, or just maybe peace, rut, or maybe just having, an opinion about the subject matter or something that may come up between us here. But it's not news. It's just my notes on the news. So like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. I am at the Redford Theater in Detroit, Michigan. I'm a producer with a production called Shrek the Musical. So this is Tech Sunday. So I'm here at the theater just trying to get it in where I can fit it in. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. But don't tell anybody. Don't be rolling up on me. So, I'm hoping that, the cast just got off break. They had a break from 5 to 6. So I was trying to hit right after, hey, Yapo. I was trying to hit right after the break, and I'm hoping that they will be in, doing whatever they're doing. So I will have a moment. But if somebody, and I close the doors at the theater, it's a beautiful space. I don't know if you can see. Here, let's do a quick tour. Look, here's somebody coming in the door now, so I might as well be doing a tour. Hey, how are you? Good. I don't know if you can see how beautiful the theater is, but it's an old vaudeville theater, back from, vaudeville times, the 1920s. And this is our second production here, but it's our home here now with the community theater that I've done stuff with. And yeah, they do a lot of films out of here. We're the only ones who do live theater out of here. So yeah, that's what a wine. That's what a guan. So let's see what the Buddha has to say today. I talked to one of my good friends who's also a meditator. He is coming back. That door over there. He is coming back. I got it. I got to open it. It's locked.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He is coming back from a 10-day retreat. I guess 16 years ago, I took him to a retreat. I sent him to a retreat. So he's coming back from a retreat. So we spent some time talking, and I did an hour meditation sit today. So I'm like so excited, about my little meditation community that might be growing. Who knows? But anyway, so let's see what the Buddha has to say today, if we can find the Buddha. What's new and good with you? What you up to? How'd the paper go? Is it done? Huh? I thought the children's calls were at 5:30 or 6 because some of them started coming in early. So I don't know if it's going to be a steady flow of people coming in or not. And there is, look, I'm going to take y'all outside because I want to report on one other thing. But there's a space across the street called Sweet Potato Sensations. I don't know if you can kind of see it in the background. That's a black-owned business here in Detroit. It's right across from the Redford Theater. So I spent $10 there today, and then I took one person's order over there and sent another person over there. So I count that as two. Like, now I've had 3 impressions, because yesterday at the museum, you saw? Okay. Because yesterday at the museum, I just gave them a $10 donation. And they have a donation box and everything. My Wi-Fi is messing up. I don't think it's mine. Although when I started the stream, they said I may have some trouble with the stream. But I haven't seen any indication that I'm having trouble. So if you, I don't know. Look, I'm telling you to refresh and come back in like I know anything about anything. Look, can you see Shrek right there with his green face? It's running smoothly. All right, so let's try to jump right in. If one going down into a river swollen and swiftly flowing is carried away by the current, how can one help others across? So we get all worked up and stressed out and how are we going to be of service to our community? I mean, I'm just saying, oh, this looks like this is going to be a mess. I don't know if the children's call was for 6. This door, how y'all doing?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Was your call for 6?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was going to I think just straight through there, and you should see someone in the cast who can help you. Oh, Nick. Okay, these are dancers. Oh yeah, I saw their costumes set up. Our choreographer is so cute. I saw her teaching little bitty girls ballet, like 5, 6. They were so cute. So I should have known these were her dancers. Okay, so that's the daily words of the Buddha. Let's try to hurry up with this. Let's try to hurry up. All right. CBS football analyst apologizes for gun photo on daughter's prom night. So when I read the description that said that, it was the daughter, hey, love like the sun, what's up, girl? It said that it was the father in between his daughter and his daughter's date to prom with a gun. So I actually thought that he was holding a gun like this, like have a good prom. And, some people were like, well, it's really tone deaf, it's insensitive. Some people were like, oh, it's kind of funny. It's not really that serious, it's not that deep. When I saw the imagery, it was like just the three of them almost shoulder to shoulder. The gun was in his hand, but it was like down by his side. So it was almost like the gun wasn't like the central part of the, it wasn't the central part of the imagery. It was just, kind of part. Oh, look, you see my sweatshirt. It wasn't a central part of the photo. It was just kind of like there casually. So I was kind of surprised by it. But, I thought the conversation piece. I know. Did I fall? I'm about to knock the sign over. Okay. So yeah, that was that. Ellen DeGeneres to Van Jones. Look, here comes another child. Oh, this is the choreographer's daughter. This little child is so cute. She was telling me all about feelings and everything. So yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. These little girls, they not mean. They're little nice girls. I don't know where all these people be talking about these mean children. Ellen DeGeneres to Van Jones. As a white person, I am ashamed when it comes to killings of unarmed black men. I guess, shame is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what her process is, and, I don't know. I guess I do kind of feel annoyed because I feel like we don't need to bear their emotional burden. I feel like we have enough burdens to bear without bearing the burden of their emotions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You might have to put something in that door to keep it ajar for the stream of people coming through. Man, oh wow, it's over. I must be late again. I don't know if you're still here. If you're still here, I'm back. It's the Wi-Fi here, which I thought was really good. And I don't know if I should put something in the door or not, because it's kind of like, but anyway, maybe I will. I wish I could do something with this. I done pushed some button and I got all kinds of, I guess I can shift the string, I can decorate it, but I really want to just turn that off. And I don't know how to, normal, I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know. You mean front, mean your back. Your front, I mean your back. I don't know if y'all can see this stuff. So it's like we got enough, to deal with emotionally, just trying to deal with, living and surviving and thriving and all of that. We don't need, take your emotional burden to your sisters and your brothers and y'all work that out together. That's how I feel. So let's keep it moving. The largest foreign bribery case in history, it has something to do with Brazil. So I'm not, I kind of clicked on the article. I can't really remember the details. Yay. Thank you. Thank y'all for holding on. The founding fathers and their commitment to slavery is the headline. It's coming from Black Then. I think I might have skimmed the article, but it's basically the same conversation. SSDD. China dragon boat accident leaves 17 dead. So rest in peace to the people who made their transition in China and their families and communities. It seemed like I skimmed it. Like, I don't know if these dragon boats are some kind of competition and they were preparing for the competition and something happened. I really wish I could get this off of here. It's very distracting. And I don't know what I done did. A dragon boat is some kind of, dang, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm going to leave it alone. Because I'll be done fooled around and turned it off. I think if I hit X, it's going to ask me if I want to exit the screen. I'm going to try that for a second. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to be courageous. Oh, okay. So 17 people have died in a dragon boat accident in southern China, thought to have been caused by a strong current. One of the long, narrow boats packed with paddlers overturned on Saturday, and another arriving at the scene also capsized, TV pictures showed. In total, almost 60 people were tipped into the water. A rescue effort went into the night with 40 survivors being pulled out. So this is imagery. They kind of look like kayaks or something like that. I don't know if you can see them. So that's what's called a dragon boat? No, not exactly, because I guess that's one boat with two long things. So I don't know. So, oh wow, this image looks more, it looks more like, you see how, I don't even know if you can see it, but it looks more, I could see the dragon imagery in this, because they're long and thin and colorful. Okay, Nicaragua reporter killed during Facebook Live amid unrest. So this reporter was like reporting live on the scene. You can kind of see it, but not real well. This reporter was reporting live on the scene, and they made their transition. They were killed on Facebook Live. So I think this is like the second person that we've seen killed on. Because didn't Corin Gaines or somebody die live on Facebook? Hey, Information Man Show, welcome on the chat. So rest in peace to that person who made their transition. I don't know the person's name, but there's like a lot of, all things dragon is Chinese. Korea Air nut rage sister stepped down. So we talked about them. There was one probably a few months ago who on an airplane got upset at the stewardess because the stewardess had the nerve, or the flight attendant had the nerve to serve her macadamia nuts in a plastic bag instead of on a plate. So she like threw the nuts at her or something. And then now here recently, within the last couple of weeks, the other sister, I think the younger sister, threw water at somebody because they upset her. So they're like really prominent in the Korean family, and they've now stepped down from their position with the company. And their grandfather is the one who started the company. So the father announced that they were going to be stepping down, that they were resigning. So I don't know, I don't know if they were forced to resign. That's what it sounds like, because the one had just they throwing nuts in water. Well, the nuts were thrown while in flight. The water was thrown at a business meeting. I think somebody said something that she didn't like, but it's like, which grown people are throwing nuts and water at people, whether they're on a flight or in a meeting? Like, who does that? So, yeah, that was strange. But, I mean, it's good for them to step down. London Marathon, Kenyans, Kapoche, and Chiriyut celebrate double win. Ooh, I like the imagery of them, because these people, one of my friends always says, they're so highly melanated. And I'm like, yes, these Kenyans are deeply melanated. I love that imagery of them. Can you see them? Now, I think the other day I had on my marathon, those folks like to fight. I don't know. I haven't had any, I guess all the Koreans that I've had exposure to have been on YouTube, and they seem very like friendly and cute and happy. I know I've researched, and there's like a lot of surgery going on. So the other day I had on my shirt from when I volunteered, I think it was in 2006 at the marathon. I don't know if we talked about it here, but I talked about it with somebody, and it was like I volunteered at the 24-mile marker. It was like 24, like really close to the finish line. And so I was like, my job was to like be a cheerleader, like, yes, you can do it, go, you're almost at the end, keep going, just around the bend, woo, that was like, my assignment. That's what I was supposed to be doing. So, some people, like when the Kenyans who were winning the marathon came around the corner at 24 miles, they looked like they was just like out strolling. You know, they were just, hey, I'm like, go, go. They like, yeah, whatever. Now, there were a lot of people who came across that 24-mile mark, and they were like, like, you were like, oh my God, you got it, keep going. And I'm like, Lord, help them. But you could really see the difference between, you know, some people, like, you know, even if they were tired, their stride was still smooth. And some people were like, I don't want to say a mess because they were finishing a marathon and I was just standing there. I know our Kenyan family run like water. And it was like when you wait, so, you know, you get there, I got there early in the morning and it's like you're waiting. And so, like, you know, the Kenyans come and then, you know, 8 hours later, everybody else starts coming. So it's kind of funny because it's like you can really, you know, see the difference. Afghanistan, Kabul voter center suicide attack kills 57. So I think it's a place where people go to register to vote. And I think that it's in a community like there's this, I think it's the Sunni and the Shia Muslims. I'm not really clear, but it's two different groups of Muslims. And there's some tension between the two groups. So this particular voter center was one community. And I guess in theory, the other community bombed that voting center where the people were going to register to vote. I think they were just registering. I don't think they were actually voting. So 57 people made their transition. So rest in peace to those people who made their transition into their families and their community. 57 is a lot. And like, you know, we trying to vote. We registering to vote. We know about, you know, kind of how awful it can be sometimes to try to register to vote. But, you know, I don't think, you know, so it's interesting to see that happening throughout the world. And then Kabul, I saw a movie called The Kabul Beauty Academy, I think, and it was one of my favorite movies. And, you know, so it's been years since I watched it, but it was a really interesting piece just in terms of like the culture and the politics. And the women had to be, you know, really, really covered up. I don't know if you can hear me. You know, I guess press 1 if you can hear me. I don't know if I should speak louder. I was trying to speak relatively soft, but the women had to be covered up. They weren't allowed to wear makeup. They weren't allowed to style their hair. They weren't allowed to dye their hair. Okay, you can't hear me. They weren't allowed to dye their hair, you know, so they were doing that in spite of all of those things. You know, they were kind of fighting for, you know, their right to be women and their right to express themselves creatively through how they looked. Okay, am I still yelling? It's just hard. I'm like, I can't even. Hey, Sonia, welcome, 77 Trouble. Yeah, you know, this is my notes on the news feed segment. So this is not quite, you know, this is a little more serious than last night. Although marriage is very serious. Okay. Undoing the dirty deed, how whites-only language from restrictive housing covenants remain on deeds across the country. Hey, Sonia. And I saw this on I don't know what story it was I was looking at, but somebody was like living in a housing like development, like, you know, not like a condominium, but like almost like a gated community, and they were a black person, and they found out by looking at their paperwork that it was like against the law. You're right about that. Marriage is very serious. It was against the law for them to live. It was against their lease for them to live in that community as a black person. Like that language from theoretically back in the day was still on, you know, still on the paperwork. So I think that that's what this is talking about. The dirty deed. Beyonce and Solange fell on stage at Coachella and recovered like pros. So they say they fell, they kicked their legs up in the air, got up, and Beyonce's like, how about my sister? Ain't she something? And I was wondering, remember we were talking about it the other day, I'm like, so she performing at Coachella again, so what's she gonna do? You know, what's she gonna do this week? She did the whole production last week, but they say it was like basically the same show, but just a little, you know, like different costumes. And I think it might have been like an excerpt from the show last week. So I still haven't seen the show. I had said I was going to see it, but I haven't had a chance to see it. Libya could sell oil to 100, could send oil to 100. Oh, there was something in that article about Libya, but I can't remember it. Stay positive and strong. Yes, stay positive and strong. China is boosting its undersea warfare capabilities and stealing U.S. technology to do so, a U.S. admiral says. I think China is out here taking advantage of, will do. I think China is out here taking advantage of, the political climate and their opportunity to, I guess, be a world colonial power and imperialist power. I guess they out here making colonial and imperialist moves. Rapper, and I don't know what rapper this was, because I think I looked in the article and I didn't recognize his name. But yes, exactly. Rapper granted $10 million after jury finds officers involved fabricated evidence that led to murder conviction. Yeah, they out here doing the most. I think there are a lot of Asian companies that are, sort of part of the colonization or the recolonization of the African continent now. I don't think that it's just Chinese. I think there are a lot of different Asian people there, but I think the Chinese are very prominent. So I don't know who this rapper was, but he was convicted of murder, but the officers had, made up the evidence, which, on one hand, it doesn't really surprise you because you know that those things happen. But I guess when it happens, not that I know the person, but it's like when it happened to somebody that you know about, it's not like an abstract theoretical thing. It's like it happened to this person, and even their courts said, that it was wrong. So it's sort of like, wow, the sun is moving right up. I wonder if my glasses are going to start going dark. So I don't know how he feels. Yapo, Aurelius, Ladanian, Terrell, Tyjon, Rashawn, Leroy Jackson. Now, I had a whole system, Sonia, where I tried to use the letters of Yapo, like I-Y-A-P-O, not just any old random name. There was a system. There was a method to the madness. So I don't know, Yapo, I know you say you like your saris with money, so I don't know if $10,000. How did you know I changed my name? Y'all connected like that. So I don't know if you're excited about this $10 million settlement. They have a task force on them. They're doing illegal mining. Djibouti. I think I heard about the military base in Djibouti. Okay, there we go. Okay, 29-year-old customer who stopped the nude Waffle House shooter by wrestling away his rifle is hailed as a hero. So the man out at 4 o'clock in the morning, naked except for his coat, shooting people in the Waffle House lobby and the Waffle House garage and the Waffle House. And 4 people, I think 4 people, the last I heard, had made their transition. And somebody who was in there grabbed the gun, took it away from him, threw it over the counter. And I guess if that hadn't happened, it would have been more people who made their transition. For a little while, I worked they need to get them Chinese out of there. For a little while, I worked at a hotel, and there was a Waffle House not too far away from it. And I mean, it's kind of amazing the amount of activity that happens in the middle of the night. Because I'm kind of like, well, what in the world? How many people are there at the Waffle House at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? But it was a lot of people there. We used to go to little places, after parties and stuff. But that's like 2 or 3, but I think this was 3 or 4. So at least 4 people that I know of made their transition at the Waffle House. I think they got the young guy, or the 29-year-old, he's not that young, who did the shooting or is accused of doing the shooting. Rest in peace to those families. Waffle House always jumping just like IHOP. The Waffle House seemed worse than IHOP to me. Yeah, that's what we're doing. and he's like, he's probably like 6'6". And then there's one little woman, she like about 4 or 5. So there's like one scene, like she's like short, she's tiny. And there's like one scene where, you know, they interact and she's like, ah, runs. It's like really funny because she looks like the disparity in height. It's like, oh my gosh. They're running now. I'm not even gonna, I'm sure I'll have a gazillion opportunities to see the show, but I'm not even gonna see it right now. So naked gunman kills 4 in Nashville Waffle House. Why is he naked? That was the other thing. I'm like, what? Is he known to have issues with mental health? I mean, what's going on? Kanye West's praise, a Black Lives Matter critic, met with backlash from fans. So it's this woman, I'm not really sure who she is. She's a black woman who does political commentary. I guess these are the dancers, and I guess they're coming into the lobby to rehearse. Press 1 if you can still hear me. You can't hear me? Press 2 if you can't hear me. Okay, I'll keep going. So I don't know who this young woman was. She was a Fox News commentator or that type. She's like, she appears to be black or blackish or light skin or something. You know, she like people who are into Black Lives Matter are just making up an excuse to try to get attention or something, some foolishness. And Kanye is like, oh, I like the way she thinks. More foolishness, you know. So I guess y'all are getting a little mini show in the background. Alarming photos of the uninhabited island that's home to 37 million pieces of trash. So, right, it's a double feature. So, yeah, that. Yep, just push it hard. Just boom. You got it. That's the right one.
Able to come back in this way?
I'll be right here probably. When you coming back?
Get some money. We ordered shirts. I left the money at home.
Okay. I like your hoodie. I like your hoodie.
Thank you.
Okay. So this uninhibited island, they say that they get garbage, mostly plastic, from every continent on the earth except for Antarctica. And it's just like every day, just more garbage arrives, more garbage arrives, more garbage arrives. I remember realizing at some point, like, wow, in my head, when I have garbage, I think I throw it away and it just goes away. But it doesn't really go away. It's like it's still, you know, it goes someplace, like to this uninhabited island or, you know, whatever. Raw, real, and as it is, keep it coming, sis. So that's the...
Then you go to open that door.
Their little hats are so cute. Hey, that's Wiseman. So yeah, the whole plastic conversation we've been having, it just, you know, I guess this person was specifically doing research, and I think that I had seen the imagery on Facebook. I don't know if I've seen it anywhere else, but when I read the article, it said it was like going viral since the person was doing research on plastic waste. Vintage EPA photos reveal what New York City looked like before the U.S. regulated pollution. So, you know, it's like smog. I think they have smog real bad in California and San Francisco. When I was in New York, the smog wasn't really bad, but in these images, it just looks foggy and smoggy and you can't really see anything. And then we started having regulation, or the country started having regulation, and that had an impact. It had a positive impact on the quality of people's lives, I'm sure on things like asthma and everything. Every time we add to the demise of the earth. Yeah, this plastic is intense. You know, I have an uncle who died of cancer. I don't know if I mentioned this, but he was a chemist who, they are so cute. Aren't they cute? I want to see them too, and they're going to be such good dancers because our choreographer is so good. When we did Sister Act, she when I saw the tape, I'm like, oh my gosh, we look really good. Although on stage. But the plastic is just, it's like all over the place. It's like intense. Like when I start, you know, when I started paying attention to trying not to deal with plastic, it was like, almost like, well, I don't know if it's too little, too late or not. But, you know, I try to do my part, but it's like a battle. It's a fight. It's like, I feel like it's one of those things that's a conversation. Trolls create fake Starbucks coupon exclusively targeting black folks. So the coupon says something like, plastic is everywhere. Plastics are all over the hospitals, the businesses, our foods, our clothes. We've been talking about the fact that a lot of these synthetic clothes are plastic. It's been building for some time, and it's like now that it's being talked about, it's already so like spread out. Like a lot of glass is even plastic. Like, you know, it's just like plastic. Oh, what I was telling you is that my uncle worked as a chemist helping to develop plastics, and he ended up dying of cancer. And I remember when I found out he had cancer, that's what I thought. I'm like, I wonder if it had something to do with plastic, because that's when I first started. That's around the time that I had first started, you know, thinking about plastics and being aware of plastics. I think I might have had some water out of a plastic container, and I could like taste the plastic, and I'm like, this is weird. This is wrong. And I think before that, I remember trying to understand how to sanitize something, and it's like when something is made out of plastic, if you scrub it, all those little, you can never fully sanitize it. So that started freaking me out about plastic. But when I started trying to, you know, and when I heard my uncle had cancer, I didn't ask him about it because I was afraid. You know, I didn't want to, you know, I figured he was already dealing with, wow, polyester. We never have to iron clothing. Yep. And I didn't realize until the other day that polyester was plastic, that the synthetic clothing was plastic. And no, I mean, I know that, you know, they're saying that we're getting like the pharmaceutical drugs that so many people in society are taking are coming into our water supply. So even if you're not taking those pharmaceutical drugs, you're getting them through the water supply. So I guess it's the same thing with all of the other chemicals and preservatives and stuff. So these fake Starbucks accounts, so the Starbucks accounts are like, we're sorry, black people, we have to do better. We value you. Come by and talk to us, you know, and you can get a free cup of coffee. And when you scan the little barcode thing, it says something like the KKK or F black people or some craziness. And then they put another ad out when it became exposed that this was fake, that this wasn't like a real Starbucks coupon. They put another coupon out saying, you know, hey, we're sorry, there's this fake coupon going around, but, you know, here's a coupon for all of the people to come to Starbucks to get a free cup of coffee. And it's another fake coupon. So, you know, created by the same people. Avoid wearing nylons on planes. My husband is like the evil twins, Polly and Esther. My husband is like the evil... Hold on a second. My husband is like the evil twins, Polly and Esther. But I don't know. Like now, I'm like, I have to like this. When I got it, I had ordered it, but when I got it, I see it's 50-50. So it's like if I go through my clothes, which I need to do, I guess I'm going to do, and get rid of stuff that has plastic, it's going to be a lot of stuff. These are black. There are black-owned coffee shops. Sound drops in and out. Am I the only one? About 2 minutes ago, I was getting a line across the top showing that my Wi-Fi was dropping in and out. Is it still dropping in and out, Iyapo?
Stop. You all know this. Listen to me. Look.
There are black-owned coffee shops.
Do not do like this with your shoulders.
So I think it was that moment. The Wi-Fi is kind of choppy in here. How do we do if there's a fire in an airplane and the plastic and the nylons will melt into your skin? It has to do with, wow. Yeah. And we are, I don't know if you saw my video talking about the black-owned campaign. So, or, you know, I don't want to say a campaign, but the challenge. So, you know, feel free to shout out the black-owned coffee shops in your community. It's clear I found the issue. It was on my end. Yes, Isaac, you're
Some people are going like this. I would like you to go like this.
Oh, Lord. If there's a fire on the plane, you already grass. Well, some people do survive fires on planes, but let me stay focused.
Make sure that you're not doing your shoulders, just your head, okay? Then...
They are so cute. How leisure time is changing for North Korea's privilege. Greetings, Bonafide 1970. Thank you for the flowers yesterday and today, or the flower today and the flowers yesterday. Pakistan's Ziyarat, an ancient juniper forest and its living fossils. I skimmed that. I can't remember it. Now, you might have lost some sound there because we were in and out. Hold on one second. Hey. Are you going to use the restroom?
Yes.
I think that I heard that the ladies' restroom was...
Use a minute.
You're welcome. And they sing too. Oh, right. I wasn't even thinking about in your house because, you know, all the synthetics, you know, your carpets have the plastics in them. Because there's some paints that are like chemical based and some that aren't. I'm going to have to go back into my news feed because getting up I done lost. I know, don't we need some purity and innocence and sweetness and light?
If you had work, you didn't pass inspection. We all have our standards, but I will have perfection. And so, okay, listen to the music.
And
Stay still.
the connection is bad. It's coming in and out. So let me find where I was.
I'm going to take it back just a little bit so that you guys can
Okay, so we talked about that. Letter from Africa, the teenager fighting school bus sex pest. Shout out to Sankofa Video Books and Cafe in DC, coffee house with African books and film focus. Sankofa Video Books and Cafe in DC. So anybody who's in DC or visiting DC, check it out. Is it kind of near the Howard University area? What area is it in, Sankofa?
remember you go forward first.
Shout them out. What's your favorite thing there? Nicaraguan authorities call for peace after deadly protests. 8 common foods. 8 common words you probably didn't know came from TV shows. Now this was interesting. Did you know that spam came from a TV show? I had no idea. Georgia Avenue, just north of Howard University. Okay. Not like when you're like, oh, I think you are really, really smart. Not, that's like comes from TV. I think that's what they mean. Spam, regifting. Like I've heard the concept of regifting, but I didn't know that came from a TV show. Going commando. Friends taught us that, they say. Debbie Downer, I didn't know that came from TV. Meh, that probably came from Seinfeld. Oh, the Simpsons? No, it came from the Bible. Meh. They do say that it has a unclear. Some contend it's borrowed from Yiddish. Yay, family in Maryland. It became popular because of the Simpsons. Cowabunga, that's the Simpsons. 5-0, I never used that. Oh, is that for the cops? Oh yeah, law enforcement. Black Swan Espresso. Yeah, I don't know. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Dang, I went back too far. Yeah, I feel like we need to have like a that's what's up, Bonafide. I feel like we need to have a black-owned coffee shop, Black Swan Espresso. I feel like we need to have a list or something. There probably are people who are already doing lists. What we probably need to do is, find the people who keep those databases and make sure that the shops that we're mentioning, the businesses that we know of, are on those databases. So Jersey City is near Newark, New Jersey. Jersey City is like right across the street, right across the road from New York. I guess Newark is too in a way. pages, a black book, black pages. Yeah, we used to have a black yellow pages here. We don't have it anymore. I'm assuming most of that stuff has gone digital. I mean, it used to be like a book you could use, and I used it lots of times for lots of things. We use it all the time. But I'm assuming most of that stuff is digital. I don't know if those people publish here anymore. I haven't seen it. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay. Being outside, you're very welcome. It's the downtown area on Halsey Street. Was that Black Swan Cafe in Newark, New Jersey on Halsey Street? Being outside can improve memory, fight depression, and lower blood pressure. Here are 12 science-backed reasons to spend more time outdoors. All the good stuff we have to use is gone, memories and regrets. Well, that digital stuff makes a difference, because I told y'all when I went to the Dominican Republic, yeah, what was that called? The Green Book or something like that? Like not just what towns to not be out, and there are still a bunch of sundown towns. You know, there are some around Michigan where you don't want to be in, you know, shoot during the day if you're black, let alone, right, the Green Book. Okay, yeah. And Vegan Tube, a YouTube platform about vegan stuff. Oh, okay. I was thinking that I might join one of these black YouTube, one of these either Black Junction TV or Black Spot TV as one of, you know, to kind of increase the money that I'm spending with black businesses, since I don't spend a lot of money. But I was trying to figure out which one. So if anybody has a preference or recommendation, or, you know, some rationale for going one way as opposed to the other, you in Ohio, and don't knock on those strange doors. Right, that's what happened to the baby the other day. Shoot, sometimes even the doors you know are strange, you know. So go outside and improve your memory. It's good for your body, all of this other good stuff. Here comes somebody else. I mean, it's just busy like a mug, that door over there, sis. Put a shoe in that door. Shoot, it's 7 o'clock. They called was for 6.
Your daughter? I was just gonna say.
Be sure to take your foot out of it first. Don't do like this. The only black FBI agent in Minnesota. They're getting ready for the show, yeah. And I think this is their first, I don't know. Obviously, they learned the choreography, but our choreographer works in a studio, so I think they've learned it in the context of a class. The first black FBI agent in Minnesota faces prison for exposing Bureau's white male culture, hostility toward black Muslim communities. So he's just exposing who they are, which is not really a secret. So I don't know why they're you know, threatening him with prison for. I mean, why don't, if you be who you are and be proud of it, you know. But anyway, that's what's going on. I don't know who he is, and I kind of have a hard time feeling bad for, you know, the FBI. But you know, whether he black or, you know. But anyway, India introduces death penalty for child rapists. So we were talking about this just the other day, the woman who was going on a hunger strike in an attempt to get the death penalty for child rapists. If that's the cause, they're going to have to put a lot of those FBI jokers in jail. So the woman who was doing the hunger strike, I guess her hunger strike was effective, and now the death penalty has been introduced for child rapists. I heard somebody say the other day, which it's been resonating with me ever since, or kind of like they're like, you know, consensual sex is a redundancy. Yes, Black Swan Espresso is on Halsey Street in downtown Newark. I had great conversation with the owner, a lovely sister with locks. Good, yes. Black Swan Espresso. We love Black Swan Espresso. That's what Bonafide 1970 say. So we all concur, we agree. And when we in the New York, New Jersey area, we gonna get that way when we can, as we can. And for those of us who live in that area or are visiting, we make special trips. Oh, so they were talking, speaking of the child rapists in India or whatever, and yay for the country for making that legislation, India. So I guess it's like a nationwide legislation issue. But somebody was like, there's no such thing as consensual sex. If it's not consensual, it's not sex. That's called rape. And I was like, dang. Now, we've been conditioned to say, I've been conditioned, you say consent, and it's like, dang, I mean, that's deep. Or I thought it was deep. I don't know. But I was kind of like, wow, the way we speak about things really is a reflection of the values of the society. And I guess your values without even being conscious of it. 3 of R. Kelly's key team members quit after latest sexual misconduct claims. Oh, he's got a key. Palestinian lecturer and Hamas member killed in Malaysia. So the theory is that he was killed by an Israeli, CIA type, FBI type, but they haven't taken responsibility for it. They haven't Teflon Man Kelly. They haven't what the Palestinians have said is that he's a martyr. And they say that usually when the Palestinians use that language, it means that they believe that that person was killed by the Israeli state. But they haven't come out and said it explicitly. That's what I understood from the article. Cirque du Soleil returns to action after tragic death of aerialists. So, I guess rest in peace for the person who made their transition. I saw a Cirque du Soleil show once. We drove down to the coast to see it. And it was really interesting. I wouldn't go again. I guess if somebody gave me tickets, I might go. But, oh, yay. I haven't, I definitely wouldn't have paid, although my husband paid, so I guess in a way I paid to go see it, but I didn't know. But I wouldn't do it again. But it was interesting when I went. I didn't know that Cirque du Soleil had a tragic accident either, and I guess they took a break. It was interesting when I went, but again, I don't know that I would go again. But I have gone to Universal Circus, and I usually don't like, now, Cirque du Soleil, like Universal, I don't think there were really I don't think there were any animals in Cirque du Soleil. In Universal Circus, I don't think there were. It seems like there might have been an animal. I don't really care for, the whole animals as entertainment thing, so, but Universal was really interesting. There were people from all over the African world, and, they had all kinds of skills and talents, and it was, it was really quite, I took some children, but I might even go to that on my own, to Universal Circus, and I love the name. They're moving away from using animals, as well they should. I've been to the Universal Circus once. Yeah, me too. I had gone up to the office to meditate, and because it's tech day, so I'm here all day, or they're here all day, I'm here all day too. So I was doing my meditation, and he came upstairs, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you meditating?" And then when he came back, he was like, how somebody tries to tiptoe, like, psst, psst. It was like I could hear. I mean, I appreciated the effort, but it's like, you not quiet worth of nothing. But he tried. The dark racist past of Moncks Corner, South Carolina. I don't know much about South Carolina, Moncks Corner, or anything. I have heard of Moncks Corner, and I like to say South Kakalaki. That's all I know about it, Kakalaki. That's all I know. Seattle woman charged with hate crime after threatening neighbor with knife for being black. This is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. If you want to know more about that story, I haven't read it. I'm not really planning to read it. The best piece of weight loss advice from people who have lost 20 pounds. Oh, he's from South Carolina? I didn't realize that. Charlemagne the God. I keep wanting to call him by his name. I guess I can't remember because it ain't none of my business. He go by one name, and I keep wanting to call him Leonard. Leonard, whatever his name is. Terry Crews explains the thing that caused him to believe I was more valuable than my wife. He's basically talking about, like, you know, the patriarchal type society type thing. I don't really know what his deal is, but I think the idea is that he was cheating on her and, you know, doing the most. And at some point he realized, like, well, why do my feelings, what I want, matter more than what she wants? Or that's what I think that's the point of the article. I didn't really read it, so I don't know. Confusion erupts after a small drone-type object was reportedly shot down near the King's Palace in Saudi Arabia. So is somebody out to get him? Is somebody after him? These circuses better move away from using animals. These animals are waking up and realizing what we are. When the captured lion realizes he's a lion, it's not going to be pretty. Go to HELL. I don't know. I missed that one. Okay, so I had, yesterday I had probably about 40 ounces of water. Ooh, I got my water here. I need to drink. I had 2 servings of dates, 1 banana, half of a carrot, or a whole carrot, which is half a serving of carrot, 2 servings of roasted string beans and broccolis. And then I had a lettuce and tomato sandwich, and it was so good. I get this pizza dough, like this raw pizza dough from Trader Joe's. And so I've told y'all I've been making like a flatbread out of it instead of using it as pizza. And so I just like grab a piece and kind of flatten it and put it on my cast iron, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like my newest, and I made like a sandwich with that yesterday. It was quite delicious, quite delish. Dems to black activists. Trump is the darkness. Now, this article and this, can you see the actual comments? You read something different from what I typed. Is YouTube rewriting my remarks? I don't know. I mean, I might be misreading because I'm trying to read quickly before it goes away because I can't seem to keep the stream up on my tablet. What do you put on your lettuce and tomato sandwich? Yesterday, I just put some olive oil and lemon juice and, you know, some Mrs. Dash pizza dough from the Trader Joe. Pizza dough from the Trader Joe. What up, dough? From Detroit. That's what we say here. Y'all say that anyplace else? Somebody from California said, what up, dough, on her stream. But then also the automatic, sometimes I notice when I type stuff in, the computer will correct it, but it'll correct it wrong. Like I typed in what I was trying to say and it changes it. So I don't know if I'm just misreading what you say. You know, trying to like hurry up and read or. But if I have yellow mustard, I don't like that spicy, fancy French mustard, but like I like a simple yellow mustard on a tomato sandwich. And really, if it's a good tomato, you know, like I really don't need mustard, you know, or, you know, I might have some olive oil or some butter. Detroit is all right. Y'all some gun carrying folks. Really? I never knew nothing about guns until I moved down south. But then I guess my husband grew up here and he was teaching children how to properly use guns and stuff in Detroit, but I wasn't. You know, my mother's sister was shot by her children's father, her ex-husband. And so I think there's like a spirit of, in my family, you know, my mother is not like really down with guns, and, you know, kind of like I had to like get over something to even be around guns because, you know, I don't know, I guess just the experience was like terrible, you know, for the family. So Trump is the darkness. I have a built-in app on my LG phone, LG Health, that helps me with fitness goals, including a setting that can remind you to drink water. Yeah, you know what I have on it's not really an app, but I just set my alarm. Now, I set it years ago, like probably like 7 years ago, to go off. I think I don't even know, it's like 6 or 7 times a day it goes off to tell me to do affirmations. And at one point I had it set for water, but I've taken that off. But my affirmations are still in there. I've never taken them out because I'm like, my dad sleeps with a pillow under his gun. A pillow under his gun. And I'm afraid to sleep with a gun. Like, I'm like, I don't know. You know, I feel kind of like, what if it accidentally goes off and I shoot myself in the head? Or I don't know. Like, I just can't really get the logistics. I haven't really gotten like comfortable. And then not too long ago, my daughter-in-law, who is a Detroit licensed to carry woman, had her gun in her purse, and somehow something happened and she shot herself in the stomach. So that kind of stuff kind of freaks me out. I mean, she's okay. This was a few years ago. She's okay. But I mean, that's kind of scary to me. Reminder to do your affirmations and drink water. Yeah, and I saw this thing one time that was like, every time you walk through a doorway, you know, pull yourself up and breathe. And I'm like, ooh, I love that, but I never remember. I haven't remembered to do that yet. But like, how many times do you walk through a doorway and you could like pull yourself up and like, yes. I'm basically finished with the notes on the news, but what I did want to say about this, Trump is the darkness. Now, I'm really challenged by this language, you know, white supremacy, and then Trump is the darkness. You need to make 100% the safety is on. We don't have the fear of a gun in our family, but a bow and arrow, man, and a spear. Yeah, I was listening to somebody yesterday, and they were like, when I grew up, there was a shotgun by the front door, and it was there all my life, and we just, you know, that was just how it was. But, you know, most accidents happen, you know, they say, when I got my gun, honestly, we need to know all sorts of weaponry given the times we're in. When I got my gun, they said that that's, you know, that most people who shoot, a lot of, like that it was almost like you should expect that your gun is going to accidentally go off, like that's perfectly normal. And that kind of like stresses me out in a way. Like, and it's kind of like, do I keep it loaded? It's like the whole, like the logistics of it stress me out. Like, and just, even like I was trying to learn to shoot a shotgun, and my shoulder got knocked out, didn't get knocked out the socket, but it was just like, I mean, you know, maybe I'll loop back around, you know, to it, but and then I never really know where to keep it. At one point when I first got it, I was taking it to work with me and keeping it in my car. And then I noticed a sign saying that I wasn't allowed to take the gun in the mall. And then I'm like, well, what if my car gets stolen and my gun is gone? What if my gun is at the house, but I need the gun and something happened? I don't know. There were always guns around. Yeah. That's what the people were saying on the radio last night. Grandpa kept a shotgun by the door. But Trump is the darkness. I just don't like that language. You know, I feel like darkness should be something beautiful and wonderful. And it, you know, like just linguistically in this, you know, in English, it's like darkness is not associated with goodness. And so I'm like, how do we as Black folks reconcile that? You know, it just really stresses me. But Diaz-Canel replaces Raul Castro as Cuba's president. Yep. So I think I'm looping back around. So I just feel like we need, you know, other language. And even like in the, you know, the people who, you know, do the Yoruba spiritual practices, it's kind of like, you know, like you wearing white is better. And, you know, Trump is the orangeness. You know, so I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. He's the pits. Maybe he's the peach and the pits. The peachness and the pits. But I like peaches. I like oranges too. I don't know what he is. Yeah. Right. He was previously arrested at the White House. At the White House for what? Arrested? That's like, y'all remember hearing about this woman who kept getting arrested. It was an older white woman who kept getting arrested at the White House. And they had never, like, you know, they would just tell her, go on away, lady, don't come back. You're so happy that he's president because it's increasing our consciousness and our awareness and giving us an opportunity to grow and develop in new ways. And then there was one Black woman who had accidentally, you know, had gone too far and was trying to make a U-turn, and they jumped all over her and, you know, beat her down and almost tried to kill her. You know, yeah. Well, I think, you know, everything, if we have the right attitude about it, they seized his guns last year. So how did he have guns? He just got some new ones. He got some from somebody else. He found one in somebody's car and took it. You have no choice but to wake up. You can't get rocked to sleep. Yeah, that's what we were talking about yesterday, when they spit right in your face and stab you, and you know what you're dealing with. You can't, you can't ignore it. His dad rearmed him. You can't ignore it. But it's kind of like, yeah. But I definitely think it's an attitude thing. And I think that, I believe that it's all good and it's all God. So we do have to, look for the blessing and blessing in every situation, because it's there. God is there. I really do believe that. Did they kill that shooter? Not that I heard that he ran away, and then I heard that they caught him. So, what are you looking forward to? The blessing and the lesson. But I like to spell it BLESSON to remind me that the lesson is in the blessing and the blessing is in the lesson. Now I don't use acronyms so much, but I use like G, capital O, lowercase o, and then capital D, like good and God in one word, to remind me that it's all good and it's all God. See, people don't say it anymore, but for a minute everybody was like, it's all good, which I love. I'm like, yes, it's all good, it's all good, it's all God, it's all good. That's what I say in my, but I like that. Blessings, lessons. I got probably like 3 or 4 little, maybe not even, those might be the only 2. I have to look now at my blog. Yay! That shooter is not dead. Are you telling us, or are you saying, are you reacting to what I said? Are you telling us that the shooter is not dead? I'm not surprised. But that's it. That's all I got. So I'm going to jump off the phone. Oh, I'm asking. I don't know. The last I heard, or what I understood, or what I remembered, when I saw that the person was white, just like turning lemons into lemonade, we need to turn that orange into orange punch. Shooter is still at large, right? Yes, he's on the run, says the Information Man show. I don't think they probably going to get him and take him for a hamburger. Take him back to the Waffle House and get some of those, what do they call them, smothered potatoes or some mess, I need that on a hoodie. Yes. Yeah. Oh, and then Be Fabulous You is in the middle of the word fabulous is be you. I feel like I need to be, I'm not really a graphic designer, but I feel like I want the words to say, they say he only has on black pants. Because I think I heard that the shooter from Waffle House, he left the Waffle House, he took off his coat, he was naked, he ran to his house, which was not that far, and put on some pants and then kept running. Now, how do they have all that information about what he did? Was it on video? Did somebody see him? Oh, you gonna look for him? I thought he was naked. Okay, so go on over to the Information Man's live stream that's coming up next. You did have a guest on the last time when I popped on, when I remembered. Go on over to the information, probably surveillance. I think it's probably just them being like, keep running, boy, keep running. They got their system set up, we'll protect you. So I don't know if you have a topic for today's show, Information Man, or a special guest that you're inviting on the show. I can't figure out. I see all of y'all using these Google Hangouts, and it's like I hit the link. I don't know if it was on your show or somebody else's show. But I hit the link and it takes me to the app that I had already put on my tablet, but it's like it doesn't show anything that I can do, maybe because I haven't been invited, but it doesn't even show where I could invite or set up a stream. So I'm like just so envious of these people that have, live streams where other people are on them, because I just think it's really, really cool. Who's the redhead? She was doing Sister Girl Hangout Saturday mornings, and she and her girlfriend do it together, and it's excellent, and they go back and forth. Final paper for philosophy due tonight, so I can interview you. I'm envious of you all. Yeah, you can interview me, but I gotta get that. I need somebody like to help me with the tech stuff because I couldn't figure it out. Dang, what is her? Oh, Talisa Ray. She said, "Sis, I'll help you." And I tried to help myself. Even yesterday or Saturday when she had her live stream, I tried to hit it, and I don't know. I mean, it was just, I don't know. Oh shoot, we were supposed to do an African country today. Okay. Is Algeria the first? And we might have to come back to it tomorrow, too. Oh, yeah. Blame that Alexa, not us. You should read your philosophy paper to us. Do you, like, I remember at some point I started writing all of my papers about, I found the Black Swan Espresso on the Shop Black website. Yeah, we need to promote the Shop Black website. Algeria is a North African country with a Mediterranean coastline and a Saharan desert interior. Many empires have left legacies here, such as the ancient Roman ruins in seaside Tapanza. In the capital Algiers, Ottoman landmarks like circa 1612, Chatchalula Mosque, Ketchaoua Mosque line the hillside Kasbah quarter with its narrow alleys and stairways. The city's Neo-Byzantine Basilica Notre Dame d'Afrique dates to the French colonial rule. So it's a sovereign state in North African, okay, we know that. It's the 10th largest country in the world. Did you know that Algeria was the 10th largest company in the world? Yeah, I like to hear your philosophy papers. The lecturer that Sir Hilary Beckles yesterday. Sir Hilary Beckles yesterday said that he studied philosophy for a semester. Yep, I'll let you back in. You got to hit it hard. Arab, Muslim, French, Berber, Frantz Fanon. That's all I know. Frantz Fanon was from Algeria. I thought he was from somewhere in the Caribbean. Get out of here. Okay. So it's the 10th largest country in the world and the largest in Africa since South Sudan became independent from Sudan in 2011. So Algeria is the largest country in Africa? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Okay, so this is the flag here. He wrote on the revolution in Algeria. I haven't read any of Frantz Fanon's work. I really want to. So the flag is green and white, green on one side, white on the other side, and then it has like a moon and star, like the Arabic type symbol in red. And the motto is by the people, for the people. And here it is, you can see it. Oh, there it is. You can see it where it is in the continent. So the official languages are Arabic and Berber. French Guadeloupe and lived in Algeria, amongst other places. Oh, okay. The religion is Islam. Ethnic groups, 99% Arab Berber. Close to Italy. Yes, it looks like it's close to Europe. Can you see where it is? It's like that green at the top. Oh, the independence from France was July 3rd. That's my birthday, 1962. So their Independence Day is my birthday. A regional middle power. It's the supplies the largest amounts of natural gas to Europe. I don't know. I guess I'm getting a little turned off seeing like all of the Arabic writing and sorry, I forgot to take you with me. Yeah, I might have to read about Algeria. Carthage, I've heard of Carthage. That has something to do with Algeria. Oh, the indigenous population. That's probably what I want to know more about. Oh, you might get the stink eye if you call them African. Well, it said up here that they're Berber. What did they say? Berber Arab? Their ethnicity? What is that? Official languages are Arabic and Berber. You enjoy reading about other countries too. I do, but what it is, fake ass French Montana is from Morocco. Is Morocco in Algeria? No, Morocco is a whole nother country. It's not in Algeria, is it? Ethnic groups, 99% Arab Berber. No, what I had said that I wanted to do is, I do enjoy learning about other countries, but what I said I wanted to do is cycle through the African continent. Since there were 54 countries, I thought, don't think they're African. North Africans is white. What I wanted to do was cycle through, excuse me. You're welcome. Took my spot. Oh. You're welcome. What I wanted to do is cycle through all of the countries in Africa, just kind of like one a day, not anything in depth, but just to start to get more, for me to start getting more conscious of Africa, because I feel like it's like I just feel like I just don't know much. I don't, it's like I know a little bit, but I just feel like I need to know more. I feel like I just need to know more. I need to be more familiar. I need to be more comfortable. Like I'm like stumbling over the words and the concepts, and I don't quite know where's where and who's who and what's what. And, I like to know more. So I had said that, let's talk about it a little bit, and just kind of cycle through it once and then maybe be a little more in depth. I have been to 34 different countries in Africa, so each part is very different. Oh my God. Oh, that is so exciting. I don't think I've been to 34 countries, period, in the whole world. I hear that Madagascar and the Seychelles are beautiful. Someone on the live yesterday was from Madagascar. Yeah, I'm going to go alphabetical from Algeria to Zimbabwe, although I wasn't positive that Algeria was the first. I had was the first alphabetically, but I like that. See, instead of saying like, as I feel like as an African person, instead of saying clutching my pearls, I could say clutching my cowrie shells. Instead of saying from A to Z, I could say from Algeria to Zimbabwe. From Algeria to Zimbabwe. Well, I think Africa should consider becoming a country and dominate the world. So yeah, just trying to educate myself and be more oriented to Africa and things African, Because yesterday it was like some of the stuff I'm like, I had no idea. I didn't know. Yeah, and it's interesting too, because I spent some time in the Arab American Museum. We have an Arab American Museum. Algeria, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire. Are those the first three countries? Who was it who said Double Seven Trouble said she had been to 34 countries in Africa? I feel like you need to be my new best friend. I feel like I need to know more stuff. 34 countries. I didn't even know until like about 2 or 3 months ago that there were 54 countries. Yeah, you can never know too much about the motherland, and when you think your mind is full, there's room for more. Right. And definitely reading is not the same as visiting. Yeah, so what are some of the countries you've been to? What's your favorite country so far? Or what was the most interesting place? What was the most surprising place that you've been? What's the place that resonated with you the most? What was your question? Oh, Belgium. Oh, I missed that whole question. Bring your passports. Let's go to Rwanda next month for weeks. Hello, all. Hey, prima donna. What's going on in Rwanda? I love Ghana. What's his major? Oh, I thought it was philosophy, but I don't know. What is it? Oh no, you did. You told me, and I think you mentioned it. Now I can't remember. We're working on a trip to Costa Rica and back to South Africa next year. I know somebody who spent some time. Was it Rwanda? Oh, creative writing. Creative writing. Well, the lines are definitely not ours, but it does seem like people identify and connect, culturally, like to their ethnicities, to their villages, that's the impression that I get. I don't know. All right, so that's what I got. I think maybe tomorrow I'll hope. Maybe in the meantime I'll be able to do, some. I don't know. Let me not even commit to doing any reading about Algeria tomorrow. I think I got turned off by all of the Arabic Berber stuff. So maybe I'll just move on to the next country, and when I loop back to it, I'll have nothing, just a cheap flight, and it was on my to-do list. My goal is to hit all 54. The EFF has me wanting to visit South Africa. Yeah, okay. Well, a few weeks ago, that's what I was like. I'm trying to find a cheap flight anywhere. But it seemed like all of the flights that I see are like 1,000. Like that's like the cheapest. What do you consider a cheap flight? Where are you coming from? Oh, wait a second. Something about the Vatican and what happens in our city and our neighbors, but I couldn't like quite piece it all together. Well, that's what happens in our city neighbors. We don't make new countries except for the Vatican, or in Italy, of course. Nope, nope. Okay. Well, that's what I got. That's good for today. Rwanda, if flying, please guard against radiation. Oh, if flying to Rwanda, 500 from DCA. Is that DC? That's inexpensive. That seems relatively inexpensive. Yeah, so when is Rwanda? That sounds good. I don't know if I'll be able to go this time, but I'm gonna put my because I'm like, I got Costa Rica on my list, I got South Africa on my list, and I got the Jim Crow Museum on my list. I got spending money in these black businesses on my list. Join our travel club. I sent the email to somebody to join the travel club. I was on somebody else's live with you, or you were on it and y'all mentioned it. So I sent the email. I can't remember the young woman's name, and she sent me something back. Maybe I have to look at it. Because the people who did the tour to South Africa from here, oh yeah, headed to Costa Rica next, just left Turks and Caicos. How are things with the movie pass? Book 3 months in advance. Post the travel club information. I'm still looking. I'm still not. Yeah, I'm kind of head. I travel extensively through South America and the Caribbean. We're talking about relocating to Costa Rica, so we're going to do a visit there. Has always been a serious consideration against which we need to safeguard ourselves. We'll get it together soon. Yeah, so we still researching Costa Rica. Got it on the list to go. My husband had some property in Belize, but I don't really think that that's viable at this point. It's been like 20 years since he was there and had contact with anyone there. So I don't know what's up with that, but Costa Rica is definitely on the list. Cabo is there in Costa Rica. That was the one that was in the news that people were talking about, you know, it's black women only, and some people got upset. Oh, Panama is on my list. Now, Panama is on my list because one of my girlfriends was trying to have a sister girl trip to Panama. And I know Panama, I see Panama is right there by Costa Rica. So, and then, you know, we got a person who's in Mexico. So we had kind of talked about flying down to Cancun and then like taking a bus, traveling, you know, on the ground through, you know, to Belize. I mean, not Belize, but to Costa Rica, and kind of seeing. But I don't speak enough Spanish. I'm not strong with Spanish. Please put link in the chat for Black Women's Retreat. Also for the travel club, Panama is more affordable than Costa Rica for now. Because somebody was on the chat. They were like, well, if you're trying to buy in Panama, you need to buy now because it's already, you know, it's overpriced. And Belize used to be cheaper than it is now. I mean, you know, I think that's kind of the ebbs and flow, I guess. I don't know. But, all right. Now, I had that soup. It hasn't been that long ago. I guess it has. It's probably been 5 hours ago. I was going to say I had that black-eyed pea and collard green soup, and I'm already hungry. I had black-eyed pea collard green soup, and I had sweet potato cornbread from Sweet Potato Sensations. I don't have the link. Nicole does. Wherever white people go, the price of everything goes up. Yeah, I wonder why. And, you know, we're looking at the on the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, because that's where the brown folks are. Black Women's Retreat, Women of Color Healing Retreat. So if you're not looking at the chat, if you're in the replay, you can go to the chat, pull up the chat, and Yapo just posted the link to the Black Women's Retreat. But that's it. I'm being a bad co-producer. I'll get it soon, though. I was in Jamaica quite often. It's always so wonderful to be in the home country of the Honorable Marcus Garvey. My first husband was Jamaican. I spent a little bit of time there, and it should go up. White folks cause so much destruction when they arrive in places. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I want to travel more. I need to be connected more. I need to be more comfortable in different places again. Because I feel like I'm starting to get anxiety about, you know, moving about a little bit. So I need to move about more and not be so attached to this place. But that's what I got. I love you too. Today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. Everybody, please go over to the Information Man channel if you'd like to join. He's doing a live feed. He might have already started now, but he said he was going to jump on after we got off here, and we were winding down a while ago. I never go anywhere yet. Well, that's why you in travel. Yes, travel is good for the mind and the soul. Yes, it is. Especially if you got wanderlust. Yay! Loves and kisses, hugs and kisses to everybody. Today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. I love you. You are blessed. You are a blessing out in the world. Enjoy your life. Oh, that's another one I like to do. ENJOY or INJOY. Like enjoy. Like I'm enjoy. Peace, y'all. Be you. Can we really get this travel club going? Yeah, and I told you that. I don't know if I told you, but there's already some travel clubs going. So I don't know if anybody looked up NOTNews42218. I know I've seen she has some YouTube presence, but if you Google Black travel clubs, there are some that are already out there. They may not be to your liking, but it's all good. Okay, be you. Be fabulous, you. Peace. Be you. Be fabulous.